Illinois' virus-related death toll continues to climb. The director of public health took time today to explain how the department rules someone an actual COVID death. It can be a little confusing. She says anyone who has COVID when they pass away will be included in that category. Dr. Ngozi Ezike explained this does not mean the virus caused that death, but if someone does test positive for COVID before dying, that is classified a coronavirus fatality.
You were in hospice and had already been given, a few weeks to live, and then you also were found to have COVID, that would be counted as a COVID death. It means that even if you died of a clear alternate cause, but you had COVID at the same time, it's still listed as a COVID death. So everyone who's listed as a COVID death doesn't mean that that was the cause of the death, but they had COVID at the time of death.
And Dr. Ezike also said one of the health department's top priorities, of course, is continuing to best protect the most vulnerable and immunocompromised groups.
This all comes amid those alarming coronavirus numbers tonight. Cases surging in nearly every state, more than 82,000 new cases in just 24 hours, approaching a record set months ago. More than 1,000 deaths for 2 days straight now. Tonight, more than 223,000 lives have been lost. A public health official breaking down today. Hospitalizations increasing in 39 states. The Midwest and West hit especially hard. ABC's Alex Perez in Chicago tonight.
Tonight, an alarming surge in coronavirus cases, more than 82,000 in just the last day, the highest number since July. Deaths topping 1,000 for 2 straight days.
We are reporting 3,874 new cases for a total of 364,33 confirmed cases since the start of this pandemic. Excuse me, please.
Illinois' top doctor overcome with emotion as she shared the skyrocketing numbers in the state. Patients once again streaming into Northwestern Memorial Hospital in Chicago.
People are fatigued, they're tired of COVID, they're laying their guards down to people that they feel comfortable with.
Starting tonight, Chicago cracking down with a curfew for all non-essential businesses, including bars. And in some counties, a ban on indoor dining. Business owners frustrated.
We're not trying to hurt anybody. We are fighting for our livelihood and everything we've worked for.
If we need to close down restaurants and bars or take away their liquor licenses, take away their gaming licenses, we will do that.
14 states hitting record hospitalizations this week, including Oklahoma. 25-year-old Bethany Walters says after a week in this Oklahoma City hospital, the toughest part is breathing.
Well, it's hard, and I hope nobody else gets this sick, but hang in there if you do.
And in Utah, the virus taking a heavy emotional toll for those on the front lines.
Some days you go home and you really just hope that your patient's still there the next day.
But in the Salt Lake City area, some parents concerned about a disturbing trend dubbed the mom code. Mothers reportedly skipping testing their kids to avoid school shutdowns.
They're encouraging each other not to have their children tested for COVID-19. And so it's very dangerous. And it's something that really needs to be stopped.
Back here in Illinois, 10-year-old Joshua Smith was healthy before landing in the ICU with that rare pediatric syndrome. Tonight, the family telling us they're so grateful he made it home.
I'm happy that I'm back home with my family and my brothers.
The first night he came home, he came in my room and he gave me a hug. He said, "Mom, I'm so happy you took me to the hospital. You saved my life."
And David, the 2 companies that had paused recruiting new patients for their 3rd phase of vaccine trials say it's now safe to resume those trials and say it's not unusual for them to take a pause like they did in this case. In all, there are now 4 vaccines in the final stages of testing. David?
All right, Alex Perez tonight. Alex, thank you.
Today, we are reporting 3,874 new cases for a total of 364,33 confirmed cases since the start of this pandemic. Excuse me, please.
Our so-called leaders in Washington, whom we elected to safeguard our nation and our Constitution, are the betrayers, and that behind them are a comparatively small group of men whose sole objective is to enslave the whole world of humanity in their satanic plot of one world government.